Chosen one, I need you to stop scrolling right now. Not because I want your attention for entertainment, not because this is another video you can half listen to while doing something else, but because what I discovered while preparing this message made me sit in complete silence for several minutes before I could even begin writing. You were aligned with someone, and not just anyone. Someone younger than you. Someone whose soul carries a frequency that perfectly complements yours. Someone who has been prepared in ways they don't even understand yet to walk beside you in a chapter of your life that's about to begin. But here's what stopped me cold. This isn't a future promise. This isn't something that might happen if you pray hard enough or wait long enough. This alignment already occurred. The decision was already made. God confirmed it, and you felt it. You may not have understood what you were feeling. You may have dismissed it as wishful thinking or inappropriate attraction. You may have told yourself you were being foolish, but something stirred in you recently. A recognition, a knowing that defied logic. That wasn't your imagination. That was divine confirmation reaching your spirit before your mind could comprehend it. Subscribe to this channel right now and activate all notifications, because what I'm about to reveal will permanently change how you understand every connection you've ever felt, and why this particular alignment breaks every rule society taught you about who you're supposed to be with. Stay until the very end, because I'm going to show you exactly when this alignment was confirmed, why this person being younger is not accident but divine intention, and the 5 unmistakable signs that prove this has already been set in motion. Write 777 in the comments if you've recently felt an inexplicable pull towards someone who doesn't fit what you thought your partner would look like. Let me start by destroying a lie that has kept countless chosen ones from receiving what was prepared for them. The lie is this: that love follows rules, that connection obeys social expectations, that who you're meant to be with can be determined by checking boxes on a list of acceptable characteristics. Age, background, status, appearance. The world has created a formula, and anyone who falls outside that formula is considered inappropriate, suspicious, or worse. But God never consulted society when designing your path. In 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 7, we read something that demolishes every human criteria for selection. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. This isn't just a nice verse to quote. This is the operating principle of divine alignment. When heaven selected who would walk beside you in this next season, they didn't check birth certificates. They didn't calculate socially acceptable age ranges. They didn't consult cultural expectations. They looked at hearts. They found a heart that had been shaped through specific experiences to complement yours. A heart that carries what you need and needs what you carry. A heart that would recognize yours instantly, because souls don't read calendars. And yes, that heart happens to be in someone younger than you. This bothers you. I know it does, because you've been conditioned to feel suspicious of this, to question your own motives, to wonder if there's something wrong with you for feeling drawn to someone who society says you shouldn't feel drawn to. But let me ask you something. When did you start trusting society's rules over divine guidance? When did the opinions of people who don't know your journey become more authoritative than the peace you feel in your spirit? When did you decide that God made a mistake? Because that's what you're suggesting when you resist this. You're suggesting that the infinite intelligence that orchestrated galaxies and designed every atom in existence somehow got confused when aligning your path with this person's path. That's not faith. That's fear, dressed as wisdom. Now let me show you why this person being younger is not a mistake, but a precise divine intention. There are spiritual reasons for age differences in divine alignments that most people never consider, because they're too busy being offended by the surface appearance. First reason: you needed time to become who you are. Your journey took longer than average, not because you were slow, but because you were being prepared for something that required deeper refinement. The battles you fought, the losses you survived, the character you developed through pressure, all of this took time. If you had been ready earlier, you would have met someone different, someone who matched where you were then. But you weren't meant to be with someone who matched your earlier self. You were meant to be with someone who matches who you've become. And who you've become didn't exist until recently. This person couldn't have found you before because the you they're meant to find hadn't emerged yet. Divine timing isn't about calendars. It's about readiness. Second reason: they carry something you lost. Somewhere along your journey, certain qualities got buried. Not destroyed, but buried under the weight of survival. a lightness you once had, a spontaneity that got crushed by responsibility, a hope that got weathered by disappointment. This person carries those qualities in abundance, not because they're naive, but because their journey preserved what yours buried. They're not coming to teach you these things. They're coming to remind you. Their presence will unearth what was covered, not add what was missing, because it was never missing. It was just hidden. This is spiritual complementarity. The reason they feel like home is because they carry the keys to rooms in yourself you forgot existed. Third reason, you carry what they desperately need. They have been praying, not casually, but desperately, for someone who wouldn't play games, for someone who had been through enough to value what's real, for someone whose presence would feel like safety rather than uncertainty. They've encountered people their own age who couldn't provide this, who were still learning lessons you learned long ago, who couldn't offer the stability their soul has been crying out for. You are the answer to prayers they've been praying since before they knew your name. This isn't about you being superior. It's about you being specifically shaped to fill a specific need that their journey created, just as they were shaped to fill needs your journey created. Fourth reason, your assignment requires this combination. What you're being positioned for in coming seasons requires a partnership that combines your depth with their energy, your wisdom with their fresh perspective, your endurance with their enthusiasm. Neither of you could accomplish this assignment alone, and the assignment couldn't be accomplished with someone who duplicated what you already have. Heaven needed a specific combination, and that combination required someone from a different generational experience than yours. This isn't about what you want. It's about what the mission requires. And thankfully, what the mission requires also happens to fulfill desires you've been afraid to acknowledge. Now let me take you to the moment this alignment was confirmed, not in human terms as we measure them, but in the realm where decisions about chosen ones are actually made. Your journey has been observed. Every choice, every response to pain, every time you chose integrity when compromise would have been easier, every moment you extended grace when bitterness was justified. This observation isn't passive, it's evaluative. Heaven is constantly assessing how chosen ones handle what they're given, because it determines what they can be trusted with next. And recently your assessments reached a threshold. You demonstrated something that qualified you for elevation. Not a single dramatic moment, but a pattern. Consistent character under inconsistent circumstances. Reliable integrity regardless of who was watching. Genuine goodness that wasn't performance but essence. When this threshold was reached, something shifted in how your case is handled. Your file was marked for what I can only describe as partnership readiness. This means heaven determined you had developed enough to steward a divine partnership without corrupting it, that your character was stable enough that adding another person wouldn't destabilize you, that you had become the kind of person who could receive love without being destroyed by it or destroying it. Not everyone reaches this status. Many chosen ones remain in preparation indefinitely because they keep failing the same tests. They keep responding to pain with bitterness, keep choosing easy wrong over hard right, keep demonstrating that they're not ready for what they say they want. But you passed, and when you passed, the alignment that had been prepared became activated. For those who want to understand more deeply how chosen ones navigate divine partnerships and develop the spiritual capacity to receive what heaven has prepared, there's exclusive material in the description and pinned comment. Here's what happened next. When your partnership readiness was confirmed, a matching process occurred. Not random, not algorithmic in the human sense, but precise spiritual calibration. The question wasn't who is available. The question was who was prepared with complementary shaping. And this is where it gets interesting, because there was someone whose journey had been specifically designed to intersect with yours. Someone who had been going through their own preparation without knowing what they were being prepared for. Their tests were different than yours. Their refinement took different forms, but the outcome was the same. They were being shaped into someone who would fit with who you were becoming. The age difference wasn't oversight. It was necessary. Their path required starting when it started to produce who they needed to become by the time you would be ready. If they had been born earlier, they would have been shaped by different experiences and wouldn't carry what you need. If they had been born later, they wouldn't be ready when you are. The timing of their existence was calibrated to the timing of your development. This is how precisely heaven operates. This is how intentional divine alignment actually is. And when both preparations reach completion at the same spiritual moment, even though separated by calendar years, The alignment was confirmed. God didn't confirm this reluctantly, didn't confirm it as a compromise or exception, confirmed it as perfect design executing exactly as intended. You were meant for each other, not despite the age difference, because of everything that age difference represents in terms of divine timing and complementary preparation. Now let me show you the 5 signs that prove this alignment is already active in your life, because you've been experiencing evidence without recognizing what it meant. First sign, unusual peace about someone who should logically make you anxious. There's someone you've encountered or will encounter soon who breaks your normal patterns of caution. Typically you're guarded, especially after what you've been through. You don't open easily. Trust isn't given quickly. But with this person, something different happened, or will happen. A peace you didn't manufacture, a sense of safety you can't explain, an openness that surprised you because it contradicted your usual self-protection. This isn't naivety. This isn't desperation lowering your standards. This is your spirit recognizing what your mind hasn't caught up to yet. Divine alignment comes with supernatural peace. When God has ordained something, confirmation shows up as calm where anxiety should be. If you felt this unexplainable peace about someone unexpected, you've already experienced the first sign. Second sign, they see things in you others have missed. Most people in your life see the version of you that function requires. The capable one, the strong one, the one who handles things. They see your doing, not your being. But this person or someone approaching sees differently. They notice what you thought was invisible. Comment on qualities you didn't realize you were displaying. Recognize depths you've hidden from everyone else. This isn't flattery. Flattery aims to manipulate and feels hollow. This feels like being truly seen for the first time. Soul recognition works both directions. If they're recognizing you at levels others miss, it's because their soul is calibrated to perceive yours accurately. Third sign, the connection doesn't follow normal development patterns. Usually relationships build slowly, gradual revealing, careful progression, testing at each stage before moving deeper. But divine alignments often skip stages, not recklessly, but because soul recognition accelerates what normally takes time. You find yourself sharing things you never share, feeling comfortable faster than makes logical sense, moving into emotional intimacy that should have taken months in what feels like moments. This scares you because it contradicts everything you know about healthy relationship progression. But divine connections operate by different rules than human connections. The speed isn't red flag. It's confirmation that recognition is happening at soul level, not just personality level. Fourth sign, external obstacles keep failing to separate you. If this connection has already begun, you've noticed something strange. Things that should have ended it didn't. Circumstances that should have created distance somehow didn't. Obstacles that destroy other connections bounce off this one. This isn't luck, it's protection. When heaven has aligned something, interference is limited, not eliminated, but limited. Attacks against divine alignment meet resistance that attacks against human arrangements don't encounter. If you've watched problems arise that should have destroyed this connection and somehow they didn't, you're witnessing divine protection over what heaven has ordained. Fifth sign, you're becoming better without trying. This is perhaps the most telling sign of authentic divine alignment. Around this person, or even just thinking about them, you notice yourself elevating. Not performing better to impress them, actually becoming better. Old patterns losing power, negative cycles weakening, hope increasing, faith strengthening. Divine alignments don't just feel good, they produce fruit, real transformation, measurable growth, observable change. If you're becoming more of who you're meant to be through this connection, that's confirmation that it's not distraction from your purpose, but integral to it. Now let me address what you're actually afraid of. Because underneath your theological questions and practical concerns, there's fear. And until we name it, it will keep sabotaging what heaven has prepared. You're afraid of what people will think. You're afraid that others will judge you, will question your motives, will assume the worst, will whisper when you're not around, will make you feel like you're doing something wrong, even though you know in your spirit that you're not. This fear is real, and it's not entirely irrational. People will judge, they will question, they will whisper. But here's what you need to understand about the opinions of people who don't understand divine alignment. Their judgment comes from their framework, And their framework wasn't designed to comprehend what God does with chosen ones. They're applying rules meant for average situations to an extraordinary one. They're measuring divine orchestration with human rulers. They're trying to make sense of something that operates above their level of understanding. This isn't arrogance, it's recognition of difference. You're not better than them, but you are operating under different principles, and expecting them to approve of what they can't comprehend is setting yourself up for disappointment. Jesus said something relevant to this. Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. Matthew chapter 7 verse 6. This sounds harsh, but it's practical wisdom. Not everyone deserves explanation of what heaven is doing in your life. Not everyone has earned access to your sacred journey. Not everyone is capable of understanding divine alignment, even if you explained it perfectly. Some people you simply have to let wonder. Their confusion is not your responsibility. Their approval is not your requirement. Their understanding is not the confirmation you need. God already confirmed it. That's the only confirmation that matters. You're also afraid of being wrong. What if this isn't divine alignment? What if this is just attraction you're spiritualizing to justify what you want? What if you're deceiving yourself? This is actually healthy fear, because self-deception is real. People do spiritualize their desires, do claim divine approval for human impulses. So how do you know the difference? Divine alignment produces peace even under scrutiny. If examining this connection makes you more peaceful, it's confirmation. If examination creates anxiety, that's worth paying attention to. Divine alignment survives honesty. If you can be completely honest about your motives, about their qualities, about the realistic challenges, and the connection still feels right, it's likely genuine. If it requires you to avoid certain questions to maintain, that's concerning. Divine alignment improves your other relationships with God. If this connection is drawing you closer to your purpose, increasing your faith, enhancing your spiritual sensitivity, it's bearing good fruit. If it's distracting you from everything else, creating obsession rather than peace, that warrants examination. Ask yourself honestly, does this connection make you more of who you're called to be or less? The answer reveals its nature. You're also afraid of being hurt again. This might be the deepest fear, because you've been hurt before, trusted before, opened before, and been devastated before. The scars from previous connections haven't fully healed, and here you are being asked to open again, to trust again, to risk again, with someone who, because of their age, might seem more likely to leave, change, or discover they want something different. This fear is the hardest to address because it's based on real experience. You're not imagining the possibility of pain. You've lived it. But here's what I need you to understand. Your previous hurts occurred with people who were not divinely aligned to you. Those connections, no matter how real they felt, were not heaven-ordained partnerships. They served purposes in your journey, taught lessons you needed, but they were not designed to last. This is different, not because this person is perfect, not because challenges won't exist, but because divine alignment includes divine protection. Heaven doesn't ordain something and then abandon it. When God confirms a connection, resources are assigned to guard it. You will still need to do your part: communication, patience, grace, the human work of relationship, but you won't be doing it alone. And you won't be doing it with someone who was never meant to stay. Your past hurts came from misaligned connections. This is aligned. That changes everything. Now let me tell you what this means for your immediate future. If this person is already in your life, clarity is coming. Circumstances will shift to create opportunity. Confusion will lift. What felt complicated will become simple. Not because problems disappear, but because divine timing will create openings that didn't exist before. Watch for doors opening that you didn't push. Watch for obstacles removing themselves. Watch for moments of connection that feel orchestrated rather than accidental. These are signs that activation is in process. If this person hasn't appeared yet, prepare yourself. Not through desperate searching, not through forcing connections, but through internal readiness. Continue becoming who you're called to be. Continue healing what still needs healing. Continue developing the character that qualified you for this alignment in the first place. They're coming. The alignment is confirmed. The timing is being calibrated. Your job isn't to find them, it's to be ready when they arrive. And here's what will happen when this fully manifests. You will laugh again. Not the polite social laugh you've learned to give. The real one, from deep in your belly. the kind that surprises you because you forgot you could still produce it. They will bring out joy you buried, playfulness you suppressed, lightness you sacrificed on the altar of survival. You will feel young again, not in denial of your age, but in recovery of your spirit. The heaviness that accumulated through hard years will lift, not because problems disappear, but because carrying them together changes everything. They will see you as timeless, not old, not limited, not past your prime. They will see your soul, which has no expiration date, and they will feel privileged to be chosen by someone with your depth. You will build something together, not just a relationship, but a legacy. What you create through this partnership will outlast both of you. Impact will flow through your union that neither of you could have generated alone. This is why the alignment was made, not just for your happiness, though that matters, but for what your combined purpose will produce in the world. Let me tell you how heaven views what you're about to step into. Every divine alignment receives a classification, a designation that describes its purpose in the larger story heaven is writing. Your alignment has been classified as Restoration Partnership. Let me explain what each part means. Restoration indicates that this partnership will heal things in you, in them, and through both of you and others who witness what divine alignment actually looks like. You will restore each other's hope, restore each other's trust in love, restore qualities that got damaged through previous experiences. And beyond personal restoration, you'll become evidence that restoration is possible. Others who have given up on love will see your partnership and reconsider. Your testimony will restore faith you don't even know is watching. Partnership emphasizes equality. This is not rescue. Neither of you is saving the other. Neither is the project of the other. You are two complete individuals whose completeness creates multiplication, not just addition. You don't need them to be whole. They don't need you to be whole. But together, whole plus whole creates something neither wholeness could produce separately. This classification follows your connection. It's how heaven references your relationship. It's the lens through which your partnership will be protected, guided, and resourced. Restoration. Partnerships receive specific attention because their success impacts more than the two people involved. Heaven invests extra protection in alignments whose purpose extends beyond personal fulfillment. You're not just being blessed, you're being positioned. For those who want to learn how to consciously prepare for divine partnership and develop the spiritual capacity to steward sacred connection, there's material available that costs less than a pizza and includes a complete audiobook, plus a 5-minute meditation guide as a special bonus. Access it in the description and pinned comment. As we close, I need to speak directly to your spirit. You didn't find this video by accident. You weren't randomly scrolling and happened upon this. You were led here because your spirit needed confirmation that what you've been sensing is real. It's real. The pull you felt toward someone unexpected, the peace that doesn't match the logical concerns, the sense that something is shifting in your relational world. All of it is real. You've been aligned with someone younger, because that's precisely what your next season requires. Because their journey prepared them for you, and your journey prepared you for them. Because divine timing doesn't follow human calendars. God confirmed it, not because you're entitled to love, not because you've earned it through suffering, but because this alignment serves purposes that extend beyond your personal happiness into impact that will touch lives you'll never meet. You're not being foolish. You're not being inappropriate. You're not being deceived. You're being obedient to something your spirit recognized before your mind could catch up. Trust what you felt. Move toward what brings peace. Release the fear of judgment from people who can't comprehend what heaven is doing. This is your season. This is your alignment. This is your confirmation. If this revelation resonated in the deepest part of your soul, if you recognize yourself as a chosen one who has been divinely aligned with someone unexpected, write 777 in the comments to seal this confirmation in the spiritual realm. Subscribe to this channel and activate all notifications so you don't miss future revelations about how heaven is orchestrating your breakthrough and protecting your divine assignments. Share this video with someone who also needs to know that their unexpected connection might not be mistake but divine design. And before you leave, click on the video appearing on your screen right now to discover more about how chosen ones navigate divine partnerships and why the connections that confuse your mind often confirm your calling. Together, we are stronger.